Should be good to go.
Testing. Hey, Denmaku.
Hello.
Testing. Okay. We are in business.
That was one bad menu.
One bad one?
Menu.
Yeah, it's not as good as what they did with the other stuff. Hey, and welcome everyone to Castlevania Symphony of the Month, our month-long, well, you know, every weekend playthrough of Castlevania Symphony of the Night. I am David Oxford, also known as LBD Night Train, and in the driver's seat, as before, and as always, is Nadia Oxford.
Hi. How you doing? I guess I am in the driver's seat this week. Basically, we started Symphony of the Night last week. We are continuing this week. We are in the library for the first time. I picked up the jewel knuckles, like the secret jewel knuckles, to really expedite this stuff, or expedite the stuff, rather, but, I don't know how successful I'll be at finishing. I guess we'll find out. I think I'm ass. Still don't know who Fukunami is. Oh, there's two asses.
Is there not a date on,
No, there is. I got it. Yeah, this is what I want.
Okay. So, yeah, Denmaku reminds us it's him. We got a first-time chat from Takogoon. Says, hi. Love Nadia on X the Blood God.
Aw, I love you too.
And Mag says maybe this week Alucard will achieve the threesome.
That is the ultimate goal, but I think he's far from it at this point in his life. Or actually, no, he'd be way beyond it by this point, since we're done with Rondo canonically, I think, at this point.
Okay, now, I feel like I'm taking the bait here, but I have to ask, what exactly is the ultimate threesome?
For Alucard...
Oh, sorry, it's just the threesome. Well, either way, I suppose.
Basically, Alucard...
I don't know where I got ultimate from.
Richter, and Sypha. But that would have happened in Castlevania 3, which is long before this.
Sorry, did you say Alucard, Richter, and Sypha?
Yeah.
Do you mean Alucard, Trevor, and Sypha?
Sorry, yeah.
Okay. So I was gonna say, that's, have those last two ever even met?
I'm trying to remember if I need to do anything else in the library. I know the fairy scroll is in there and I missed it somehow. Will you piss off?
I like how garish that cloak is on Alucard and you just don't even care.
Well, it's effective.
What's it do?
It gives me a little boost of constitution and or defense or something. I'm playing Shovel Knight Dig, so I almost jumped on that asshole.
Yeah. Oh, we got Lance in the chat too.
Oh, son of a bitch, I went the wrong way.
The guy's gonna say, come on, well, we like Lance.
Oh, yes, we do like Lance. But son of a bitch, I went the wrong way.
Okay, that looks like a chocobo icon, and I cannot tell what the other two are. Takugoon says, was Johnny Marr playing with the Killers?
Shit, I think he was. The guy from The Cure? Yes, he was, but I skipped the show. Because, I was late to arrive, I suppose.
Okay.
Alright, so you know what? We are going to go... I got the Jewel of Open. I don't know where the fairy scroll is. It might be after I get the double jump. I don't care. I'm not going to waste my time anymore. So we are going to go... back to the Marble Gallery.
Okay, so Mag says, I mean, if we're going off of the ultimate ideal threesome... Oh god, what have I started? Richter might be better in bed than Trevor. I can't say I'm familiar with him enough to say. Lance says, hiya, and they're G's. And Takogoon says the Smiths.
Smiths, yeah, that's it. Yes, he was there. They actually did a cover of a Smith song, the Killers did, and I can't remember which one it was, but they sang it together. It was really good. But the original song itself, I listened to it, and I'm like, oh, I think I like the cover better, but I can't get it because it's a concert thing.
So, knowing you and feeling like we're in too deep already, I have to say...
Where the fuck? Okay. Yeah?
Like, I already know your answer, but just for the viewing audience at home. Yeah, which do you figure, Richter or Trevor?
Eh, I was a fan of Richter. But Maria and Alucard are my OTB, so I don't know, I'm conflicted.
Really? I thought you were big on Trevor.
It's alright. Oh, not like him. Ah, shit, no. Thank you. Oh, and I'm wearing the Mirror Cuirass, so I won't turn into stone, which means I won't get the random gargoyle pose, unfortunately. Sorry, everyone.
And you caught that was about, like, who'd be better in bed, right?
Yes, I did.
Okay, just being sure. Not just, like, not a general character preference. Although, really, you're kind of feasting as far as Netflix goes, aren't you? Because, like, well, no, wait. You don't care as much about Richter, but yeah, they're doing, aren't they doing Symphony anyway, or Rondo, or what is it they're doing?
They're doing Rondo.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I was thinking Symphony.
Rondo and Symphony are kind of intertwined, so...
Yeah, I mean, if they got that much out of Castlevania 3 and were digging out that PS2 game, Curse of Darkness, or whichever one it was...
Yeah,
I'm sure Symphony will probably be like season 2 or 3 or 4 or something of whatever this new one is.
As far as, I lost the train of thought, never mind. Oh shit, didn't I get the jewel open? God damn it, did I not buy it? I'm sure I bought it.
Lance says they're doing rondos, but for sure they're going to go into Symphony after. Yeah, that's what I figure. Like I said, I mean, if they, like, wove the PlayStation 2 game into the whole Trevor thing, which, I mean, yeah, that makes sense, then this makes even more sense.
I suppose so. There we are. That's what I needed it for.
In fact, I would even go so far as to argue that to do Rondo, and if given the opportunity not follow it with Symphony, would be senseless. Mag says, the most I know about Castlevania is from the Netflix series, but just based on that, Trevor is easily my favorite character. His world-weary refusal to give up is very charming, and he's very good with his hands.
Mm-hmm. That's what Cypher said. Cool, we got a library.
I'm trying to figure out if, I mean, let's not forget, like, how the show started off. I am wondering if that is what she said. If that's what he means. Denmaku says, they'd be maniacs not to do Symphony of the Night. It's what made Castlevania a big swinging dick.
Alright, where the hell am I going? So, I basically hit a switch that opens up this bullshit. And I guess, should I go down there now? I may as well.
You didn't fully explore the library. Are you able to?
No. Not until I get the double jump, which is more or less where I'm headed. I'm kind of just going where the wind takes me, because now I know vaguely, okay, let's go underground.
Okay. I thought you said you had the double jump.
Actually, you know what? No, I should get that first, now that I think about it. How did I get that, though? Had to go to the castle outside to get it.
Super Metroid, I can remember my way through, like, by memory pretty well. This, I do not have such a clear vision of as you seem to.
Well, right now I'm totally freaking muddled, so I forget what order to do things in, so I'm just kind of, like, going where I can, as far as I can, and,
Is that a ring up there?
Yeah, it's like, but I can only sell it, and I can't reach it because I don't have the double jump.
I see.
Music here is really nice. Well, I'm taking the long way back up.
I am happy to say, speaking of Castlevania Pro Tags, that I was eventually able to secure a Simon Belmont amiibo. He's personally my favorite out of the Belmont clan. We didn't get the Richter one because I wouldn't mind having it, honestly, just for the collection, but because Castlevania merch is kind of rare to begin with, but...
Yeah. So, one thing I really like about this game is how the underground just keeps going and going and going. Like, here's the underground waterway, ooh, you think that's as, much as as deep as it gets. But then it goes down to, like, some kind of underground, like, mausoleum, and then, like, just to an abandoned mine. It just keeps going.
I was totally going to do a Toad reference, like, don't touch that mushroom, it'll kill you, or whatever he says, but I didn't want to interrupt you.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't quite remember the line from that trailer anyway, so I guess
I think it's like, don't touch it, it will kill you, or don't touch that mushroom, you'll die.
Okay, yeah.
I love this. There's like, this is the one piece of furniture that, this is the only time you see this piece of furniture. And it's just an open drawer, so you can jump on it like this, see?
Huh.
I just think that's clever.
Wow. It's handy, too. Do. Lance says, next historical era I'd like them to do after Rondo's Symphony would be the ones in the future with Soma Cruz. And Franchise Festival Chris says, hey y'all, great spooky month game choice. Why, thank you.
Indeed.
Max says, Simon strikes me as the strong but unskilled type. He probably thrusts like a horse, but he might leave a bruise.
Oh, he'll bruise alright.
Wow, that's a...
Simon, I think, you know, I always have a soft spot for Simon, because, yeah, he was my first Castlevania hero as well.
I remember writing a whole thing about how he should be in Smash, so seeing him actually show up was so freaking gratifying.
Yeah, and Luigi died, too.
Oh, yeah. Let's see. Yeah, back on the thing about the next historical era I'd like them to do. I mean, technically, I don't know if the... well, with Soma Cruz, let's see. What year did his stuff take place in?
99, I think.
No, 99's the, like, when the
when
big...
it happened.
Yeah.
2000-something? 30? It was something not too far away, but...
Yeah, so it's not exactly historical yet. I would love to see them do 1999. I mean, if they just, like, brought Igarashi back, like, for one game, like, you know, just do that, so, like, you know, there's kind of that sense of, you know, kind of getting it out of the way, you know, so it's not, like, left hanging there, and then do whatever else after.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call it closure, because then there's, like, stuff after
shit.
it, but at the same time, it'd almost be kind of like closure. Yeah, Lance says 2030, I think. And the Belmont line canonically gets more powerful with each generation, but not necessarily more skilled.
Super Saiyans. I got a bandana. Do I have anything? I'm wearing the cool-looking sunglasses.
Simon's like the icon, but I feel like he gets the short end sometimes as far as, like, you know, characterization and development. And, like, I don't know that the Lords of Shadow series did him any favors on that front. Like, it certainly expanded his characterization, but kind of in a odd, different, weird way.
I just want to know what the comic was doing. They did, like, fucking... Shit, what was his name? No, that was his son.
That was the Game Boy guy, right?
Yeah, like, what the hell? That was a weird comic.
Yeah. Got that around here somewhere. I wonder if they still sell it.
I think it's online. You can find it easy enough.
Oh, yeah. I mean, a lot of comics you can, but... I mean, there's reading comics online, and then, honestly, there's Comixology, which has that neat panel-by-panel thing that I've just come to really adore, so...
Yeah. Do they still do that? I thought Comixology died.
It kind of got merged into Amazon and Kindle and stuff. It still technically exists on some level. But the panel-by-panel thing is still there, so I used that just earlier when I read the new Sonic the Hedgehog, in fact.
Well, not like there's many alternatives left once Amazon gets its hand into things.
Yeah, pretty much. Lance says, Son of Dracula, the Chibi character? Sorry, what was that in regards to? Is that asking about the comic, or?
Might be.
No, the Chibi character, I mean, he didn't get an IDW comic that I'm aware of. Let's see. Kid Dracula rocks. It's like Mega Man X Castlevania, says, Franchise Festival Chris, which, yeah, that's a pretty good summation. We played it last year. It should be in the archive on YouTube. Speaking of which, I still gotta put together one of those linky page things. And Lance says, yeah, the comic. No, the comics they did were, like, I think based on the Game Boy stuff, which... Interesting approach to take.
Yeah. See, these chicks are real deadly. You gotta watch out for them. Because they can go right through your shield. They used to scream at a pitch that messed up my TV. It was really weird. Okay, I can't do anything with this. Like, my TV would kind of go fuzzy for a second when they screamed.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Kind of a unintended... I don't know, it almost feels like a perk, like, of the CRT thing, just to add that little bit of, you know, extra tension or
Yeah, it was a creepypasta thing, alright. Ah, now here's a creepypasta. Fucking frogs.
The one where the Belmont line started with a woman. No, it wasn't even that. It wasn't even anything that
Oh, here's
good.
something
It
cool.
was-
Watch this. This is the only time you get to do this in the game.
Lots of little touches like this throughout the game. You gotta love that.
Guess who's gonna die? Da 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 da.
Let's do the We're Dying dance.
Basically.
Oh, wow. It looked like they're just, like, holding each other's hands.
Yeah. Now there's
Just,
a fanfic.
like, in their final,
Their final moments or stuff. Final struggles. Last struggling breaths.
But to
Come
what
on,
I was
Ashley.
saying, the it was Castlevania Legends, was it, that had Sonia Belmont, who was for a time the progenitor of the
Yeah.
Belmont thing until retcons happened. Now this was based on the earlier Game Boy games where it's like you had the dude and he had his son, and I think there was like a marriage or something, and I don't know, it's just weird. They were kind of Mega Man like in a way in their structure, or at least the second one was. Like where you could choose like what stage, and they kind of had these themed castles you went to.
Yeah.
It's like based off that. The story wasn't like, huge or anything, so it's a very peculiar place to
The story was very standard. I remember the Disco Alucard who ran the Castlevania dungeon, and still does as far as I know, and Kurt Catala is his name. I'm sorry, getting it wrong. But anyway, a friend of mine just said basically the comic is a lot of whipping and women calling each other whores. It really was.
Oh, what more could you possibly want from Castlevania?
I mean, it was kind of bad.
Yeah.
At least I don't always like the things that Warren, what's-his-face, did with the cartoon. But at
Ellis,
least
I believe.
Warren Ellis, but at least, it wasn't like half of it wasn't wasted on a weird post-marriage sex scene.
There was that. Let's see. Lance says, it's too bad so many games were chucked from canon to make the IGA timeline. Are they the games based on characters from the actual Dracula book? I think you're thinking of...
That's Portrait of Ruin.
and Bloodlines, yeah?
Did Bloodline? Yeah.
Because
same
Portrait of Ruin was
characters.
basically like a continuation off of that. Nah, these guys, I mean...
I love this life.
In the grand scheme of Castlevania, these guys were pretty much the nobodies.
Yeah.
Nobody remembers them. Nobody cares to remember them. It's surprising that IDW bothered to make a book and about them, and it's like...
Here's some cool detail. The ice that breaks on the water.
I understand the idea that, like, okay, here's this, like, untapped, like, niche of the whole franchise that we can expand upon. Except by around the time that came out, that was most of the frickin' franchise.
Yeah.
So... But it was Castlevania the Adventure and or like Castlevania the Adventure 2, or is that how it was called?
No. Or maybe it was.
The Castlevania Adventure 2? Whatever. It's whoever made those logos, like, hopefully they've been tried and punished for their crimes, but...
Yeah. Trying to figure out where I go next. Don't know if I want to go... Well, you know what, screw it. I'm going back to the underground. I'm doing well alright. At least I opened the way to the entrance.
Len says it was probably what IDW was allowed to use at that point.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Oh wait, this guy's going to say something.
Oh man, that would be so depressing.
Welcome aboard, O Prince. Shall I guide thee across the river?
There's a Simon's Belmont reference for you. Except in the original translation, he's like, I'll take you someplace that's real special. Ha 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 ha. And of course,
Quest?
yeah,
Okay.
if you equip the heart once you have it, he'll take you somewhere else.
So I like how this kind of like almost works in reverse. It's like Castlevania 2, you got all these weirdos roaming the countryside, like freed from Dracula's castle now that the Count's dead, and then it's like, okay, so like what did the, like I didn't even think the ferryman was one of Dracula's guys, but then it's like, okay, so like, what did this guy do like when the castle was still around? And here we find out.
There we are, got the merman
Hangs out
statue.
in the underground.
So now I can safely go in the water.
Simon was already on Captain N. I don't think anybody counts that, and thank God, because like otherwise we
I
would
had no
never
idea
gotten
he
Archie
was-
Mega Man.
I had no idea he was Simon Belmont when I first watched him on Captain N. He was so different.
That is like practically the only thing until like Lords of Shadow where he got any real sort of characterization, as far as I know.
Yeesh.
Unless they like did something in track and field on DS. Dan Maku says, "Nah, fam, I'll drown."
Thank you, but I'll drown. I will drown and die.
Mega Man was smoking a pack a day on Captain N, says
totally
Lance.
was.
Lyra says, "Hoverboat."
Oh, right, okay, so I'm gonna go to the cathedral now. That's where I need to go. Because I got the Jewel of Open. But I also got the snorkel, so now Alucard can swim without taking damage. Which Richter can do when you play as him in this game. He's automatically immune to water, so I guess Alucard's the whole vampire thing, like he can't stand water.
Nothing beats a Winston.
I don't get it.
It's like Captain N, Mega Man smoking a pack a day.
Oh, I see.
And we just saw that thing with the Flintstones and the Winston cigarettes.
Yeah. Shit, fucking axe. Shit, fucking zombies.
Fucking axe doesn't smell that good anyway.
Is there anything here? No, I took it already. Did I get the wolf? Yeah, I got the wolf soul. I actually did the clock tower the first time without the double jump stone, but I'm not doing that again. Ever. Whee! Eat shit, blood zombie. Which way now? What now?
You know, okay, so I mean, is it a spoiler to go over the part about like the castle being a creature of chaos and it changing each time?
No,
and
I
stuff?
passed that point.
Oh, do we? Okay.
Oh no, sorry I didn't, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, but then I look around and I see stuff like that gap in the, walkway that you had to jump over, and it's like, okay, if it's able to, do all that, and like that right there, why isn't it able to, patch that stuff up?
He doesn't want to. Maybe it loves the way it already is.
But if it's always changing and stuff, then...
I think they mean from game to game. Probably takes a lot of energy to change. Not going to do it unless they have to.
Yeah, but why change into something full of holes?
Because Alucard is a fucking vampire and doesn't need any bullshit like stairs. Or at least not whole stairs. Like,
I mean, that's all well and good, but I'm not talking about for, Alucard's sake. I'm just talking about for the castle's sake.
who visits Castlevania other than complete suicidal people? And Dracula and vampires and monsters who can fly and shit.
It can look good for itself.
He doesn't want to. I mean, it's fine. It's confident in who it is. Did I get the hole there? Yes, I did.
I guess so. Let's see. Lyra says, gosh, his walk animation is just so graceful, it's like gliding.
It is gorgeous.
Den Maku says, shout out to the falling down that motherfucking hole 100 times in a row when I was 12. And Lance says, yeah, that hole was terrible.
Yep.
Den Maku says, the hole is purposeful with a capital P. The castle reflects a lot of stuff, including the minds and mindsets of its denizens, so the crumbling architecture is part of that.
There you go.
And Lance says, Belmont's visit every 100 years.
Yeah. Belmont. Takes all my meat.
I kind of like the idea that maybe it's not finished reforming yet or something, so maybe that stuff would patch up if given enough time.
Yeah. It'll work.
That would just be a neat thing to witness in a game,
Yeah.
Like, okay, here's this hole, in the start of the game, and as you go on and later, the hole's patched up because the castle is healing itself, basically.
Coming up to the cathedral, which is one of my favorite places in the game because it's like, before Symphony of the Night, Castlevania was always like, oh, it's this scary, awful place that's full of dungeons and things like that and creepy things, but the cathedral in this game is really, really peaceful. It has some of my favorite music in the game. And maybe Rondo had something like it, but there certainly wasn't like it for those of us who grew up with just the NES Castlevanias. All hail the Jewel of Open.
So, just as a coda to the IDW comic thing, hey Lance, I'll...
oh, wait. We have a discussion.
Alucard, wasn't it?
Wait.
So it seems.
So it seems you lack punctuation.
It's strange. This castle's different than I remember it.
No, there you go.
Okay, yeah.
This castle is a creature of chaos. With each rebirth, it takes a new form.
And here I thought my mind was playing tricks. Well, there's nothing for it. Till we meet again.
Oh, I was hoping this would be the part about the Belmont, but...
No, that's not until later.
Do you know if this version... No, this version doesn't let you play as Maria, like, in some way, does it?
No, the Saturn version does.
Oh, yeah, but they, like, added it, I think, on the PSP version, so...
Yes, they added Maria, but not anything else from the Saturn that I know of.
It wasn't even the Saturn version of Maria. They just, like, redid the entire concept, as I recall.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I wasn't sure, like... they're using the PSP dub here. I wasn't sure if it was the same...
Same sprite as far as I can tell.
Yeah, I just wonder if, like, you know, that option is available in the Requiem version here.
Yeah.
Anyway, as to what I was saying, Lance, yeah, the IDW comic, it came out sometime in the early aughts, I think. And I'll link you with that stuff later. Let's see, back in the chat, let's see. Denmac, who says, also, the castle is a creature of chaos. It's one of my favorite random one-off lines that has enormous lore implications in, like, any media ever.
I agree. I use it all the time for,
Yeah.
like, you know, anything else.
There it says, reminds me of that Matt Groening comic. Why do people go to Dracula's house? Because they didn't know he was a vampire. But his name is Dracula. Denmac, who says, hey, why does Dracula von Double Satan's lair have a cathedral, holy relics, and... claim with an H at the end, fucking Solias in it. Because it's not evil, it just is. Fuck you.
Basically.
Franchise Festival, Chris says, do you, Oxford's viewers, or... Okay, no, this, I'm trying to read this, and things are like highlighting, and, oh, this is... Okay, there we go. It's like it's blocking the text. Oxford's Plus viewers prefer Castlevania games using the whip or where you can select your weapon.
I prefer selecting my weapon.
I don't have a preference. I mean, they both have their charms. The whip's iconic, and it's like, you know, the thing. But using other stuff is fun. When I play Bloodlines, I usually pick Lacard, so... But, like, you know, it's kind of neat in Portrait of Ruin, like, you know, finally unlocking the vampire killer. So, I mean, you know, it depends. Super Castlevania 4, though, like, I mean... Using that whip is like, whew. What more do you need besides a cigarette, am I right? But, let's see, Denmac, who says, man, go back to original Lucard's voice. I need that baritone.
I agree.
And he says, I kind of like both. I'm not sure I could pick a favorite. Yeah, that's where I'm at. It depends on how it's used. And Lance, David, you were about to ask me something? All right, thanks. And Denmac, who says, claims Solias, is a Scots Gaelic mythic sun sword and the most powerful weapon in Area of Sorrow.
Yeah,
I have not played that one.
Oh, it's good. Anyway, look like the way this is like done. That's so nice. Just like the pews and the sun coming in through the stained glass window. That's really nice.
Yeah, the color of rays of light.
Yeah, you could see. I don't think it's translating properly here. You can't see the pews that were there, like on the both sides of the. I guess maybe some of the emulation didn't go through or something. It's too bad. It's a really nice effect. Either way. Yeah. Yes.
There's a Mega Man joke there somewhere. I just haven't finished making it yet.
The goggles do nothing. I was right. I don't know. Intelligence goes up, but defense goes down. I use a lot of magic, so I'll go ahead.
Why does Mega Man like to go to church? For the pew-pew-pews.
Yeah. Fine. Alright, I fought you once, I'm not fighting you again. Piss off.
There it says Catholic Goth Aesthetics.
No, total Catholic Goth aesthetics.
Lance says, I prefer selecting my weapon. The Super Castlevania whip was basically cheating. Loved spinning it, though. I loved doing the grappling thing. And just being able to strike out in any direction.
Shit.
I mean, it probably wasn't, but to me it was like, wow, this is the power of the Super Nintendo. Kind of made it a little disappointing when, like, you know, Mega Man was still stuck firing forward when he finally got his Super NES upgrade.
Shit. Ah, crap. I did the Soul Steal once before, which really kicked its ass. There we go.
Dan Maku says, hey BD, what's Rockman's favorite soda? Gotta be the do.
Oh, Lord.
Mag says, I like the whip. I'm sure you do. But honestly, nothing is ever going to top the chainsaw made of teeth from Decadence of Mouthwash. Dr. Belmont's laugh every time he fired that sucker up was amazing.
Oh, here's something neat. Everyone stop. Okay. It's a confessional. And what you do, or what happens, depends on what you do. So, here you can sit as the, what do Catholics call it? Confessee? I don't know, but okay, I'm going to sit here.
The sinner.
Oh, I got a,
Soul here. May the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost be with you.
oh shit, they brought the music, they brought the sound back. I'd never heard that before. I think he said in the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. So I got blessed. Sometimes when you get blessed, the priest will drop grape juice. But let me try that again. Turn it up so I can hear it.
Okay.
First of all, this music's fantastic.
Confessor, says Lyra.
Thank you, Lyra. Now here's an evil priest.
I guess you weren't forgiven.
I was not. And you can actually go on the side of the priest as well.
Oh, I thought you were going to try for the grape juice.
I will in a sec. And this one will just sit here and cry until you stand up. It's speculated that it's Alucard's mother. I don't know if that's true or not.
That seems like that'd be a big plot point to just, like, be, like, nothing really happening.
But if you stand up, she might leave something too. Nope. I'll try the other side in a minute.
Nobody likes you today. First guy left
That's
you
the
nothing. The
evil.
second guy, like, you know, tried to shank you in your seat. Third one left you nothing. And then there's this asshole over and over again.
I might not be able to get the good priest again. Maybe it's just not my luck today. I'm not gonna waste too much time on it. Nah. One more time. Nah, fuck it. Okay, well, we had fun. I'll come back to that sometime. You can turn it down again.
Okay.
Much as I love this music, I don't want it to bleed over.
So I have no idea what Decadence of Mouthwash is. Sounds vaguely familiar, but... let's see. Lyra says, say your act of contrition, Alucard. How long has it been since your last confession? Danmaku says they should put in the audio from the Simpsons Irish Catholic exhibit where the wife Gibber prays and then pops backwards and sploots out a ninth
I think that's
wastrel.
Family Guy. My Irish aunt, is a huge fan of that scene. She kneels and goes like, and then bends backwards and a baby pops out. And she goes back up and repeats the process. These fucking skeletons.
Let's see. Lyra says, I need to know how long it's been in order to figure out how hard to passive-aggress you.
For Alucard, probably a lifetime.
Danmaku says that was from the parody comic Fiona did way back in the day. Oh, wow. Okay, yeah. Now I'm sort of remembering, but... does anybody still have that?
Hey, look at this guy schlong. I'm punching it. That was fun. I'm glad I did that. I feel enlightened. Shit, the skeletons are back. That was I shouldn't have punched that guy schlong.
Okay, yeah, I'm definitely remembering the Decadence of Mouthwash, but I forget what the saw looked like.
Ah, fucking Raven.
I might have it somewhere, but that would take a bit of searching. I'm still trying to go back through old floppy disks and salvage what I can. Speaking of which, you still gotta show me where that drive is.
Yeah.
And I gotta get another thing so I can back up some old hard drives.
Love this cloud effect. Just such a nice locale, like so unlike anything I've seen at the time. God damn it. Fucking tower.
Meg says, where are your pants? Not offered with the pre-order. Oh, okay. Meg says I made up the saw. It seemed appropriate.
Yes. It does, actually. Oh, that's a nice little detail. See, there's a nest there.
Oh, where?
There!
Oh, I see. On the platform.
Yeah, where the
Just kind of turn
bird dive bombs you. Oh shit, it's the Huntress. This chick drops a pretty good sword, but I'm not grinding for it because I think my jewel knuckle is still way better.
I was just gonna say, in an area like this, I would consider switching to something with a little wider reach.
I'm good.
Even if it doesn't. Okay, as long as you're good.
Don't worry about me. No, don't want to go that way. This is the spike room. See?
Mm-hmm.
We don't go to the spike room till a while yet. Oh, you bitch.
Until we have the boots that, like, stomp down spikes.
Yep. Actually, the armor.
Oh, my bad.
This chick is not easy to grab.
Dr. Light should take some notes.
Am I close to a save point? I don't think I am. But I might be close to a potion. There we are. Strength potion, something else I don't use. Silver plate, this might be more powerful than the plate I got, so let's see here. Yes.
More powerful than the paper plate, for sure.
Definitely. I will be equipping the Mirror Cuirass again at some point when I go to the clock tower because Medusa heads abound.
Funny they actually turn you to
Shit.
stone here. That's not something they ever did before, as I recall.
Not all of them do, but some of them do. Not all Medusa heads, hashtag.
Okay. There it says, minor note, I like how realistic the movement of the crow clawing on top of the post looks.
Yeah.
They throw their heads back when they yell like that in real life.
Yeah, I think that's, the blue crow specifically does that. Ah, fuck this thing. Screw you, Bible. Get out of my way. Thank you. Yeah, the sprite work in this game is absolutely sublime.
Dan Maku says, hashtag trash hag, the witch who lives in your garbage.
That's pretty funny. Uh-huh. Eat that, crow.
I just like how it looked like the ball
that
just
crow.
went off
Ah,
on
shit.
its own and then it just dive bombed both enemies.
Yeah, it's
That bird never saw it coming.
mildly smart. What's up here? Something useless. Probably something you can sell. Oh, zircon. Big deal.
Is that the diamond thing?
It's a zircon. I can sell it.
Oh, okay.
I hate these
I
skeletons.
thought it was like a weaker version of the diamond or something.
Uh-huh. Come walk into it. Darn, you're too smart for me.
It's kind of too bad Alucard wasn't in, I mean, like, as a playable in Smash.
Yeah, I would like to have him in Smash.
But, I mean...
Oh, wait. We have a boss. I think the first boss I might have gone up against. This is the Hippogriff.
Well, there was the, double team from,
Oh, right, that's the first boss. But this is still a pretty big one. Why a Hippogriff? I don't know. This was before Harry Potter made them a mainstream mythical animal. But they're
Dang.
technically not a malicious animal. Not like the griffin, anyway. Oh, wait, this bitch.
You look like you're doing well for yourself.
Shut it.
Not that you did anything.
Didn't come here to flatter me.
Oh, maybe I did.
Do you know the name
Oh, this is
Belmont?
fantastic.
Belmont. Of course. Why?
Yeah.
He disappeared about a year ago. I'm sure he's here now. If you see him, please let me know.
As you wish, my lady.
My lady.
A gentleman after all. Thank you.
Alucard tips his fedora.
But just for context, like, Alucard has just woken up like 400 years or 10,000, however many years it's been, but he went to sleep after Castlevania 3, so that's how he remembers the name Belmont, through Trevor. Whereas, Maria was referencing Richter, who she's looking for, Richter Belmont. So I always thought that was very cute.
Yeah. Very clever. Mag says, I like hippogriffs because they are specifically a critter that happens when griffins bang horses.
Yeah, they're supposed to be an impossibility. I think in the medieval times they would say, like, when mares mate with griffins or something like that.
He goes on, like, that's it. That's the story. Weird interspecies nookie. And Lance says, it's funny how Maria is kick-ass in all of the games where she's playable.
Yeah, she's really, extremely... You can see why Dracula wanted her, basically. For her power.
I'm gonna take you at your word on that one as far as judgment goes, but yeah.
We don't talk about judgment. We don't do that here.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean...
The bathroom? Well, we don't do that here. Pardon.
But yeah, Alucard in Smash would have been cool, but like at the same time, it's like Symphony's never been on a Nintendo platform. But he did start. He was like, you know, originated in Castlevania 3 on NES. So, oh man, can you imagine I mean, yeah, there's like little reason to believe they would, but can you imagine if they did the Castlevania 3 version of Alucard instead of Symphony?
This is where we want to be, but I'm going to go back because I think there's something up top that I might have missed.
Let's see. Lyra says that this is a safe place. Lance says, I hope Iga manages to finish off the Bloodstained roadmap and gets to work on a sequel.
Yeah.
I mean, is he still going on that?
I don't know what Garage is doing these days, frankly.
I really gotta play that. I like the 8-bit throwbacks, though.
I like the Alucard throwback. Do I have anything better than these yet? I don't
Well,
think I do.
I mean the games. The
No. Yar, I'd be a pirate.
I forget what they were called.
Oh, the ones by Interprets?
Yeah.
Yeah, those were good. Ooh. Where do you come from, asswipe?
Corgi in a mech suit. I mean... Mwah. It was a Corgi, right?
Probably. Some non sequitur like that. Oh yeah, these guys are riding geese.
Lance says he released a roadmap with still a few more features coming up. Oh, that's cool. I should really play through that game someday.
I played through it to review it. I liked it, but I really want to get into it. Like, I haven't done any of the DLC or anything like that. But I want to play it on Switch, but I don't know if it runs well on Switch. It ran like fucking garbage on Switch when I previewed it at E3. Not E3, PAX. It actually turned into a bit of a story because I'm like, this is a really, really bad port. So if they fixed it, by all means.
I didn't mean it turned into a bit of a story, because I think I remember this, but I just want to hear you tell it.
Basically, I previewed it, and they put out the Switch version for some reason. It ran like garbage. And I went back to them and said, like, why is this game running like garbage? And they said, no, it'll be, you know, not formatted. It'll be
Fixed?
fixed, yeah. And I don't know if it was or not.
I guess keep an eye out for a sale or something.
Maybe.
I've been meaning to get it on Xbox.
But if anyone watching has like played it on Switch, let me know if it's any good. I can deal with 30 frames per second. I just need a consistent frame rate. I play things on the Switch all the time. I know there's always a compromise, and sometimes the compromise is worth it. Sometimes it's not. Now here's this. This is the Tyrfing. I think that's from Tyrfing. I think that's from Tolkien. But either way, that's a black sword. That's not going to do us shit, except when we have to fight a certain someone who's aligned to holy. So there's a lot of really, like, good, like, pieces of armor that they drop so that you can take on Richter. But they won't do you any good in any other context, because this is Castlevania's fucking... This is Dracula's fucking castle, and everyone's dead or dying. So black magic doesn't do you any good, usually. I just like the inclusion. I think that's a neat little...
Yeah, I think it's neat, like, you know, they kind of
dickweed.
pay that much attention to what's going on that they would offer something like that.
I'm gonna die from a goose.
Len says it was patched, but I don't know if it's playable. And Dan Maku says, Tyrfing was a Norse magic sword. A DM made it a major character in a tabletop game I was in once.
Nice.
Tyrfing could not be sheathed once drawn until it had taken a life.
Oh, right. Okay, I've heard of it. In fact,
Yeah,
it
that
might
sounds
be
familiar.
lore. Oops, sorry. Tyrfing. Cursed Dark Sword. So yeah, there you go.
I like the idea that maybe you could just, like, you know, whack the hell out of Belmont with it, and, like, he's still alive, and then it's like, oh, we'll go back in the shape,
Got
and
the
then
leap
Alucard
stone.
just tosses it aside.
Something really neat about the way Alucard double jumps. Like, he has the nicest double jump I've ever seen in a video game. Just the way the wings come out. Never seen anyone do, like, put that kind of effort into a double jump ever again. Animation, I mean.
Zero does a neat little somersault.
That's true. I do like the sky waltz. But there's no wings involved. And what's really nice is if you get, like you get, like, different kinds of cloaks, like crystal cloaks and blood red cloaks, and they all make the same color for the wings.
So I know that there was, like, some eye or stone or jewel or something of Zoe that, like,
Cube of Zoe.
yeah, that lets you get the items out of the candles. Has it ever been explained why there are items in candles in the first place?
Nope. I just know Cube of Zoe was named after one of the programmers, or one of the translators' daughters.
That's cool.
Let's see, where do I go next? So that's it for this area. I want to go... Don't really want to go to the... I guess I could go to the clock tower. Yeah, what the hell? I'm in the neighborhood.
Okay, Mag says, I love it when the cloak becomes wings. We haven't seen all the Netflix series, so I don't know if this is a spoiler or not, or if it came up earlier, but yeah, do you want to hear what Lyra says?
Sure.
Says, when they busted out the wing double jump animation in the Netflix series, it was so hot.
That's awesome.
I'm not sure if that was, if we'd seen to that.
No, I don't think I had.
Okay. Alucard in the Netflix series is the definition of hot, says Lance.
I'm not going to do the clock tower yet because it does take a little bit of stamina. I'm still a little bit under-leveled. And there's lots I need to do in the library anyway, so I'm not going to waste any time. Hey, dickweed, remember me?
Lyra says, yes, he is so hot.
No argument here.
I hope I'm putting the appropriate amount of emphasis there.
You're good.
It was in all caps.
See, now we have Medusa heads who can turn me into stone. I don't think the Medusa head, the stone Medusa heads are coming after me before, and now they are. It's interesting. We go into the library.
These Medusa heads are all just a bunch of stoners.
Whoa. Bane of my existence. Ever since I was a little girl, and it still endures.
Never ceases to amuse me how much this was the other Castlevania in its day.
Yeah.
Castlevania 64, now that's the future.
I don't even think I ever played that.
And I mean, the ironic part is, to some degree, they were right, because, you know, you look at what they're doing with, like, PS2 and Lords of Shadow, and were they banking off of Symphony? No, they were, like, doing 3D stuff, so...
Yeah, so these guys dropped the rapier, as I said last time, and if you know how, like, there's a special move that lets you do, like, a lightning strike. I think every weapon, or nearly every weapon in this game, has a special move attached to it. Oops.
Does he, like, raise in the air and then, like, you know, just all this different lightning rains down like Colonel does?
No, that'd be kind of cool, but no. Let's punch a ghost, yes.
Meg says, I'm given to understand the way Alucard fights in Season 4 was hugely inspired by this game.
Yeah, that tracks. I know I'm cursed.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. He makes a funny sound when he can't hit anything. Oh, there we go.
Okay.
He's alright now. He's okay, folks. Yeah, I never noticed there was, like, Japanese letters, characters flying out of the books before. It's funny.
I do kind of wish they'd changed it to, you know, our kind of letters to...
I don't know, I kind of like the Japanese letters. It makes it look a little more spooky.
I suppose. But then you'd, like, go 20 years without, like, realizing what's going on, and...
But that's what makes it fun. Now I discover, even though it's been so long, there's always something new, you know?
Yeah, I guess there's that. Just, I think it was supposed to be a little more obvious.
There's the fairy scroll. God damn. I forgot it took so long to get it.
What's the fairy scroll do again?
It lists, enemy
Oh, hey,
names.
it's one of Charlotte's books.
Yeah, she can do that, can't she?
Yep. That's why I liked using her, because, like, you could get the ones, like, where, like, kind of had a wide range on them.
Yeah.
Let's see. Dan Maku says, even at Season 1 they were doing that. It was delightful. That red after image teleports behind you, move it straight up the special move of the Alucard sword. And we got first time in chat, B-Berry Vertigo. What a horrible night to have for a curse.
Indeed. Hello.
How you doing?
I have a unicorn in my story named Corpseweed.
Welcome to the Symphony.
I think it's a good name for a unicorn. It's kind of fucked up. She's a small female.
Lance says it's actually more fitting for us that it's characters we can't read. It gives them an arcane look instead of just being gajur, where the...
Instead of, like, fuck. All these random
Instead of
letters
Iga
for-
just smashing his face on the keyboard.
letting his cat walk on the keyboard, if he has a cat.
Okay, if you want to go the more elegant way.
I know Mitsuda, the guy who does, like, incredible music for, like, Xenoblade and about 1,000 other RPGs, has a cat. Because I once complimented his cat. No, I said, holy fuck, Mitsuda has a cat. And he retweeted it and said yes. Even though I don't think he knows English very well, so I thought that was funny.
Nice.
Oh shit, Fleaman got out of his armor.
Something about cats just translates, I guess.
It does. Let's give Fleaman armor and an axe. Let them go mental on us. What can possibly go wrong? I keep forgetting you have a double jump now.
Okay. I feel like this is definitely more of a proper use of a double jump.
What do you mean?
Just some games, they give you a double jump, and it seems like you can't get anywhere unless you double jump.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
I hate that.
It's been a big complaint about our action platforming games in recent years. The double jump in this game definitely feels like it's getting is a huge step. Like, you have opened up a whole bunch of new places.
Yeah, exactly.
And this was the first time I think I can really remember double jump doing that for me. Just being like, okay, this is a big thing I have to get. Whereas so many other games, they start you with the double jump, or it's like the first thing you unlock, and it's like, well, it's not as exciting, is it?
Not so much, no.
This is fun. First of all, got a stone mask. I don't know if I want that.
What's it do?
Ancient ceremonial stone mask. That gives me slightly higher defense, so yeah, I'll go ahead and wear it.
I was hoping it would, like,
Can I sit here? Yes, I can.
keep you from being turned to stone.
Now that I think about it, it does kind of resemble the JoJo mask.
Teh.
Because, yeah, ancient ceremonial... Oh, shit. Holy shit, is that a JoJo reference? I think it is. Now this. I like this.
What the... Oh, okay.
Oh, shit, we got the Holy Rod. Game's over. Topaz Circlet.
Game over, man! Game over!
The only reason I won't keep the Holy Rod on, even though it completely demolishes everything, even more so than the Jewel Knuckles, is because the sound is so fucking annoying. I don't want to listen to that all game.
I mean, I could turn the volume down further.
No, it's just... It also makes things a little too easy. It's already easy enough with the Jewel Knuckles, you know?
Fair enough.
If I need to, I'll switch.
Dan Maku says, every flea man is given a heady cocktail of ketamine, cocaine, lavender vapors, and a medieval weapon.
They absolutely are.
Lance Hart says, oh, speaking of Mitsuda, see the new info about the DLC hero in Xenoblade Chronicles 3 who's coming out on Thursday?
Yeah, isn't that Poppy? I think that's just Poppy, which is great. I love Poppy. Everyone hated Tora and Poppy, but I loved Poppy. Tora, I can take a leave, but I haven't finished Xenoblade yet. Like, just started Chapter 7, so I think I'm getting close, but... So I'm not going to buy that right away.
Let's see. Lance also says, I think the hero will be of particular interest for
shit.
Nadia, so I guess that's pretty much covered there. And Maku, I think about the Fleaman said, I think they leaned into that later in the series.
Sure did. But Fleaman / Igors have always been a real fucking pain.
Yeah.
These guys later on turned to regular-ass enemies.
And I was thinking, like, some year for Halloween or something, if we could,
Help, I'm on fire!
No, our PlayStation 3 doesn't do PS2 games, so... I don't know. I would really love to do, Maximo Army of Zen, like, for Halloween, but... We'd need something that would, like, let us, do the PlayStation 2 game there.
Stupid stopwatch.
Damn it for only being on PlayStation 2,
But you know
because it
what?
deserves better.
I'm gonna take this because it's actually something I need.
Maku says, nah, the stone mask and a JoJo reference.
Huh. Alright, so I got a bunch of shit. So I am gonna go back to the clock room because there's something cool. I've got a stopwatch. I'm gonna use it.
Oh, I know what you're talking about, sort of.
Yeah, you probably do. Going to Oryx's.
I remember, yeah.
I love
It's like I don't remember the specifics, but I remember what you were going to do. Maku, they leaned into it. They made the stone mask look like the one from JoJo and later games. Aha.
Wow.
Lance says, check your local Goodwill. I've seen a few PS2s there randomly. Oh, we have a PlayStation 2. That's not the problem. It's having the PlayStation 2 in a way that we can connect it to this TV and stream it and stuff. But I guess we got a year to figure that out.
We sure do.
Maybe we could play one of those PS2 Castlevanias or something too. I don't know. We'll see where we are.
Curse of Darkness wasn't bad. It was fun. I liked the minion system.
Or we just give Maximo all of our love like he deserves.
So yes, when I tweeted about this, just before it started, I referenced a song by Dragon Force called Symphony of the Night that is about exactly what you think it is. You should listen to it.
Mario?
It's goofy. Yeah, that's right, Mario. It's about Mario's penis. It's a good song. It's a lot of fun, kind of cheesy. I'm going back to the Marble Gallery, so let me take a short... Actually, you know what? I have no fucking shortcuts there. I gotta hoof it.
Lance says, I'll link you to some decent component/composite to HDMI converters. Okie dokie.
I don't know a whole lot about the magic of streaming. So...
I'm not sure if that...
Oh, this dickwad. Hey, fuckface. Anything good for me?
I like how the text flips into view there, but... I also like how the item appears on the table before you. I'm not sure if the converters are... I mean, aren't those pretty much just kind of plug and go? You plug it into the component slots, and then it, like, you know, lets you plug an HDMI in, and then you're ready to go, or am I mistaken in that?
Don't know.
Because I don't know too much myself, but I've seen, like, a little around. I thought there was some that... Yep, we stream from our consoles.
Diamond plate. Definitely not enough. Reverse cloak. Elven cloak.
Mag says, it's a me, Mario's penis. Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve.
Ring of
GD
Pearls.
Chris.
I think that's a mistranslation they didn't fix. That's supposed to be Ring of Pearls or Pearl Ring. But I always like Pales anyway, just it sounds cooler. Like the song you hear in Oryx's Lair is called Dance of Pales. I think it's supposed to be Dance of Pearls, but I always like Pales better. You know what? Might be time to upgrade my sword. Thank you, Jewel Knuckles, but then again, if the speed sucks, then I'm not going to bother.
Yeah, to be precise, Lance, what we've got set up is, yeah, we're playing on the console. It's
That's
going
not-
through the Elgato and to
Whoops.
Nadia's laptop, and from there to Twitch.
Yeah, we're console trash.
Says, you plug the component wires into the converter, and it exits video/audio as HDMI and works if you have something like a Stream Deck.
Alright, well, consider it later, because...
Yeah, we got, like I said, we got a year to figure it out.
Yeah.
Stream Deck, is that like an Elgato, or...
No, I think that's a software.
Oh, software? Okay. What do we use? We use the Elgato default, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little slower to jump with this thing.
Although the Stream Deck thing, like, I think that might be what we need, like, for when we do the background stuff.
Yeah.
Still gotta make one. I want to, like, you know, get a background off of, like,
Oh, right, you can't slash these guys very well.
X-Dive or something, but...
Rah!
let's see, Lance says, oh, then you should be okay with the Elgato. Sweet.
Cursed. How fitting for 2022. I am cursed.
I mean, are we at the point where it even matters what year it is anymore?
I don't know.
It's just kind of a cursed era.
I love the way the guy's skull's bounced. There's so many little details in this game. It's insane. But it's what makes the game.
Yeah, all the little things. Like, I think probably my all-time favorite detail that, like, you know, they didn't have to do, but they did, is the lifts in the Lucard's boots.
Oh, yeah.
As I recall, they do absolutely nothing except make Lucard's sprite taller by 1 pixel.
Yes. Either 1 or 2 pixels. I can't remember, but it is something like that. Do I want the... Yeah, I should go heal.
Lance says, but yeah, streaming is always an interesting ride. Gonna take you for a ride. Dun, 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 dun. You're still on the way to the clock, aren't you?
No.
Oh, did you do the thing there?
I didn't do the clock yet. I decided I was going to go back because the clock area is a bit hard, so...
Oh, okay. Oh, right, because, like, yeah, you need more stamina or something, right?
Yeah, when I say the clock area, I mean the marble gallery.
Well, I meant, like, you know, do the thing with the watch and the clock, so...
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Oh, okay.
Just I'm heading towards there. There's no... Unfortunately, no quick route, but not going to be long.
Right.
So I'm trying to remember. Okay, so we got the double jump. That's secured. We need stuff to take on Richter. Because we're going to get the... good ending. Or one of the good endings. And work from there. Hopefully I have time to do the upside down castle. Oh, cool. Look, there our eyeball friend is there today.
Huh.
It's not always there. Just enough to freak you out.
I forget, does he break through?
No. I'd probably piss my pants. But that is a really nice, like, parallax effect.
Yeah. I see you.
This era really could have stood to have more 2D platformers. It really could have.
Yeah, well, Sony.
Well, it has some great RPGs, so... Probably the best of the genre. Between this and Super Nintendo.
I mean, at least we got all the, like, main Mega Man games of the era, so... Try not to complain too much. Although maybe Battle and Chase would have been nice, or Super
Gone down
Adventure,
there?
but
Yes, I
who
have.
knows. Mega Man X4 held down the fort, says Lance. And
Sure did.
how? I do not know what got into them, like, with that one, because it's like, Mega Man X was perfection, then X2 was good. It was really good, even. X3... It was good, but it was like, you know, kind of felt like a little, I don't know.
Did feel like it was contracted out to another company.
Yeah.
Which
that's
it was.
a good way of putting it. And then X4 is like practically up there with like the first game.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the better ones.
And it's like, wow, what the hell happened there? And then we go to X5 and X6 and...
X5's not bad, X6, well, we all know what we think of that.
Yeah, well, I mean, X6...
X7, disaster.
X6 for good reason, no less. Good reason, bad reason kind of thing, but... X5 was acceptable. But it wasn't as good as X4. If X4 is like, you know...
Oh, here's something funny. Got the Alucard shield.
Yeah.
Now, if you combine that with all the other Alucard items I will find, you can get like a huge luck boost, but they're shitty items, so I'm not going to bother.
Sure. But yeah, if X4 was the X1 of the PlayStation era, I guess X5 is maybe more the X2.
Now we're going to wait. Now, this clock on the Saturn is I think, actually attuned to the Saturn's time. But here we just gotta wait like schmucks.
Sorry, did you just say the Saturn's time?
Yeah, when this was on the Saturn,
Oh, I see.
you could... I think the Saturn used a battery to record your time. There we go.
Yeah, something like that. Sorry, I thought you were referring to this one, like, you know, saying the...
No.
So they didn't sync it up with the
No, it's
PlayStation
just
clocks.
random as far as I know.
Ah, okay. Let's see.
I love this music.
Lynn says we don't talk about X6.
Yeah, we don't. Unless we talk about the pain it inflicted upon us.
I like to talk about the story and the cutscenes and the music.
Since writing
It has its good points.
the Fieldmaster Guide, Robot Mega Man X Fieldmaster Guide, like, I do appreciate X6 had an interesting story, but it was so fucked up with the translation. It's complete nonsense.
Yeah.
But with Alia, like, basically she helped kill a bunch of Mavericks or frame them.
I was gonna say I don't even think there are Mavericks yet. So
No, she fucked over a whole bunch of robots, and nobody really talked about that again. She did it for Gate.
I don't know if it was so much for Gate, but like she's kind of duped into it by her peers. I think that's why she left, if I remember correctly.
Either way, it's an interesting story, but
Yeah.
again, the translation's such garbo. It's not conveyed.
Well, regardless of the translation, I'd love to have seen a lot of the stuff they're followed up on, but then... anyway, let's see. Dan Meku says, X5 was the start of some dumb shit like the rote memorization on Kraken's stage. Okay, X4 had it to a Stingray, but it was way less egregious. Agreed.
Yeah, I agree. Oh, I love this
Like,
level so much.
I am convinced that the reason that X5 has a slow motion option, and it is the only game to have it, which,
Hold on. Turn off the music here. It's just one of my favorite tunes in the game. It sounds like a fucking jazz club. Oops. Okay, you can turn it back down. I forgot I don't have a good weapon.
So, yeah, I forgot what I was saying.
It's alright, we were just ranting about X.
Let's see. Oh, right, yeah, the slow motion thing. Because, yeah, X5, I believe that was the only game to have slow motion. I believe it was specifically for that section. And the fact that you have to go, like, exit the game and restart, like, you know, have the whole thing in slow motion, and you can't just toggle it like an in-game menu is just ridiculous. But I'm convinced that's the whole reason that was there.
I just like the setup as level. Like, you really do get the impression it's a Coliseum. And it's like, there's another thing that, like, you wouldn't think to see in Dracula's castle. It makes perfect sense.
Yeah. Denmaku says X6 was X6.
Shit.
Lance says, I forget if it was X5 or X6 that brought back stage lasers.
That was X5. But they did that specifically for the nostalgia.
Yeah, but I would like to talk to a manager, he says. They didn't do it as well as in Mega Man 2, though, but...
I got a
Denmaku
shield.
says, I'm in a tabletop MMX game, and Gate is one of our major supporting NPCs. We're trying to keep him from going crazy, and we're starting to see the jealousy of his peers. X5 had the stage lasers in the final stages, since the whole finale was a callback to classic era, quick beams, etc., Wily's Revenge.
I have to admit, that was really cool.
Yeah.
Like, going to...
What did you just drop?
Oh, it was some, like, lightning weapon that I don't like at all. Oh, shit.
Okay.
Okay, so here's where the shield rod is. We're going to try to do a little bit of fancy work. A little bit of a trick. Yeah, that'll help, but... Oh, see, that guy's too powerful for it.
Oh, snap.
Not too powerful for that. Oh, shit.
Mwah. And that is my wife, everyone.
All right, I don't have enough magic to do it again. Shield rod. Woo!
Let's see. Lanshart says they really did set X5 up to be the end of the X series. And then someone said no.
So this is one of the better weapons in the game. It's a little heavy. The reason that you mostly want to use it is because when you combine the shield and the shield rod, you get, like, certain bonuses, like defense up. But in this case, I only have the Knight shield, so it's not really worth it. I'm going back to the sword. The sword's faster. Oops.
Not to derail this like whole stream into a Mega Man thing even further, but yeah, it probably might have been better, like at least for X5, if it had ended the series. But even despite X6 and 7, like, you know, with Command Mission and X8, I'm kind of glad it didn't. So.
Oh, this is a dangerous path. Oh shit! There's an owl after me. Let me see if I can try this one more time.
Who?
I choose not to acknowledge that. Fuck that. Alright, I gotta find a save room.
You're not kidding about Alucard just, like, you know, not bothering with stairs, because he's, like, just kind of jumping from stair to stair there with ignoring the...
Yeah. Oh, stretchy, stretchy, stretch.
Lance says, yeah, Command Mission was a great addition to the lore.
I like Command Mission. The thing I liked about Command Mission was not so much the story, but the NPCs were kind of funny. You know what? I think my Knuckles might be better against these asswipes.
Lanshart says, I really hope they find it within them to remaster it. That would be nice.
Okay, so I am going to kill the owl. Sorry.
I don't even, like, need a whole remaster. I mean, just kind of, you know, port it to a modern platform with visuals smoothed out and up-resed and whatnot.
If you kill the owl, it, like, stuns a guy and he gets really pissed off. And it'll give you a second before he comes to kill you. And dear God, this weapon does not do shit against knights. Thank you.
JRPGs are back in a big bad way, says Lanshart. I feel that's more of a subject that you're more of an expert to speak on.
Oh yeah. Been back for a while. I'm happy.
Oh my God, they're back again.
Now watch this. If I kill the knight first. He usually says have at you. Now the owl's gonna be really pissed at me. That's okay.
Reminds me of X and Zero in Vile mode of Maverick Hunter X. You kill Zero and X just freaking goes off on you.
Does he? I don't even remember that.
Oh yeah.
Doesn't he like supercharge and become like crazy X or something? Just like goes...
Oops, all charge shots.
Yeah. But what happens when X dies? Does Zero care?
I think so, but I think you just notice it more with X because he's got more to bring to the table.
Well, he does have all that hidden potential.
Denmaku, not a charge shot.
That was such a great line. It means nothing.
I mean, if I remember correctly, it's basically his weakness. So
Is it?
that's how I've heard it explained.
Oh.
I mean, I always used homing torpedoes, but I mean, I guess
So
charge
did I.
shots.
Oh, fuck. That's a Valhalla Knight, one of the worst fucking enemies in this game. No, that is exactly the opposite of what I wanted to do.
What happened?
I just used the Hellfire, which is like the most useless spell in the game. Okay,
Did it just teleport you to the last screen?
No, I did that.
Oh, okay.
Alright, okay.
Denmaku says, Vile's a total puss in X1 once you get his armor off. I think speedrunners use shotgun ice, or am I completely misremembering? I am not sure.
I didn't know that. Oh, I did the Gradius thing.
Ah,
I forgot how to do
I
that.
thought it was Gradius.
I don't care. I am going
Nadia,
to...
you're going to get all the shoot 'em up fans who watch our stream to come after you now.
I'm sure we'll live. I'm gonna beat the boss of this area, and then maybe that'll be it for this session, because my back is killing me.
I mean, we're on a sofa. You can lean back if you want.
Then you can't use the mic.
Well, then I can bend the mic towards us.
It's not gonna work. Either way, my back is gonna hurt no matter what I do. It's the way it is.
Fair dinkum.
Well, I'll go for a little bit after that.
Meg says, I always use the homing torpedoes too. The homing torpedoes?
Dicks out for the homing torpedo. Okay, someone's gotta talk. He's important.
Who are you?
What the fuck?
Servants, come forth from the gates of hell!
Oh!
The scent of your blood. You're a Belmont. Attack. Rid my castle of this pest.
Richter in, like, the original Richter is, like, just iconic. I think, unfortunately, that voice actor died.
He didn't even stick around to watch.
Never do.
Man, how must these guys feel?
Oops.
Putting on a show and just audience up and walks out on you? Audience of one?
Shit.
Who are you? It's like the quote of the PlayStation generation.
Yeah, it is.
Zero starts his game with, who are you?
There we go.
Let's see. Dynamaku says, if you use the other face button, I think square versus circle, Alucard's fireballs are both versions Drac throws.
Oh, sweet.
Lancehart says, Vile mode,
Hold
had
on.
you...
A Belmont for certain. So he says he's the lord of this castle.
I might even say he's the Lord of Shadows. But we won't.
Oh, and we get the mist. Does it come up? Or do I have to bring it up? Yeah, I think you have to bring it up.
So, let's see. Lance says, Vile had you playing as him, and his fight versus X and Zero was a lot. And
Yeah.
then, Richter! Mag says, that's interesting. What's interesting, Mags? We got a lot going on here.
Oh, I hate the hunting girls. Another, I think I mentioned, yeah, you can grind for the sword, but goddamn, it's not worth it.
Oh yeah, I forgot that noise they make.
It's really weird. And they make it in both versions of the game. Nope.
Oh, do that thing. No, I guess that's too much magic. I just like seeing everybody like die at once.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm trying to do with the other room. It's like full of like crazy hard things. But I haven't been able to pull it off yet. Oh, there's the behemoth from...
Oh, I thought you did it like a little bit back before the fight.
Yeah, I did, but it's hard to pull off.
Oh, right.
I did it during the fight, too. There's the behemoth from, what do you call it? Rondo. And the thing that chases you in the
Yeah,
first level.
yeah, I was just thinking, like, I thought it was like in here somewhere too, but I guess that's it?
That's it.
Okay.
It's dead.
Weird. I thought it was like chased you somewhere in this.
Nope.
Let's see. Mag says, I knew Richter was in this game, but I didn't know he was the bad guy.
Yep.
Say hello to the bad guy.
Oh, sweet. The blood cloak is my favorite cloak.
And
With this blood cloak, every time you hit something, you get a heart, and it's just blood red.
oh yeah, it's pretty wicked looking.
I think it's my favorite. I think I use it for most of the game.
Reminds me of something. Doesn't Dracula wear a red one like that or something?
Maybe not this red, but yes.
And Franchise Festival Chris says, wow, I never made the Behemoth connection. Very cool.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Lance
Some
says,
powerful shit.
yeah, Richter showing up is spoiler filled. Mag says, HP drain, that's hot.
Yeah, but it's hard to pull off, especially with this controller.
My kingdom for a good D-pad.
Oh my god.
Okay, one of those like silhouettes when they're getting knocked back just looks like it belongs on the back of the like mud flaps of a truck or something.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, the acting at least was a little bit better for that sequence in this version of the game versus the first version of the game. First version of the game is kind of hilariously bad. Alucard has no emotion whatsoever. At least here he's like, what the hell? You're a Belmont. Wait, this ain't right. That ain't right. That Belmont ain't right.
Belmont? That ain't right.
Oh, Beavis in my head. There we go. Shit. Unfortunately, I don't have enough magic to do it twice in a row. But I don't need to.
And Franchise Festival Chris says, gotta head out. Have a lovely evening, everybody. Well, we're not gonna be here too much longer, but thanks for coming out,
Thanks for
Chris.
joining us.
And hopefully we'll see you next time, because we're going to be doing this every weekend, all month long. Lance Hart says, it's fun that you can just nope out of a fight with that lift.
Yeah. That was handy dandy.
And Denmaku says, crush this flea who invades my castle.
Yeah, crush this flea who invades my castle.
I just love how you've got the same inflection there. It's like, you steal men's souls and make them your slaves.
That's how he talks.
Yeah. Now I just want to like hear that guy order like, at McDonald's or something.
I'll have a Big Mac.
With a side of fries.
Let's see, okay.
And a Diet Coke.
Do I have everything? Yes, no, maybe so. Shit.
Lance Hart says, one step removed from being goofy.
Oh, I remember now. Okay, I need to get the mist. By Stephen King.
Denmaku says, Optimus Prime in the drive-thru once again. Lance Hart, a yuck.
Keep
Denmaku,
forgetting.
I would like an order of fries, no matter the cost.
Nope, not that way.
And don't forget the ketchup.
Yeah, that's where I need to be.
Mag says, forsooth, I wouldst spend mine hard-earned gold upon a large supreme and some crazy bread.
I love the way they die, just like right up in flames. They're not even like a really hard enemy. They don't deserve that kind of death, but that's what they get. There is a very hidden area up there, but I can't get to it anyway.
Ah, bummer. Denmaku says, your most unarmed delivery man, please. Lance says, one-hit kills in this game are so satisfying.
They really are. Okay, I gotta go back around and get that mist.
When you're saying one-hit kills, I was like, wait a minute, like, is there anything here that can kill you in one hit that easily?
Yeah, if you get far enough ahead of yourself, sure.
Yeah.
Although,
So I just didn't remember much that, like, really did that.
at this point, I don't know if I can do that. In the Upside-Down Castle, where you're kind of free to go wherever you want, yes, most definitely.
Hey, speaking of which, how close are we to that?
That's a good question. Someone just texted me. Oh, a friend of mine just texted me something about Grahatia. It's always good to text me about Grahatia. I think she screamed something about being his husband now.
Can you hit those lights up there?
Good question. I don't think you can.
Not that, the closest ones with the ledges.
No.
Huh.
Can I get up on the ledge? No, can't get up on the ledge.
Oh. Bummer. The teasing.
All right, so Colosseum
Meg says the boy.
done. I think I'm seeing one thing I forgot to do very close by, so I'm gonna grab that.
Denmaku says cat bussy. Oh, that's your Grahatia thing, isn't it?
Yeah, cat bussy indeed. No, Grahatia is totally a switch. I'll die on this hill.
Okay.
I mean, I think most people won't argue with me. He definitely has switch energy.
I didn't think it was available on the Switch.
He is available on the Nintendo Switch and everywhere that Switches are sold. There's a reason why everyone laughed at the name Nintendo Switch.
Denmaku says he can perform any role.
He really can. He's an all-rounder. That's some of your proof right there. Oh, wrong way. Shit. See, I was too busy talking about fucking Catboy Bussy, and now this is problem. I don't have a problem. Oh, cool. Look at this. Okay, look. You have the ticket seller right here. That's awesome. I like the bills and shit.
Oh, I thought you meant like there was actually a person there that's selling tickets.
No, just I like the way things come together in this game. I like getting my ass kicked by these things too, apparently, because I keep running into them.
So I wonder how long the drooling coma was for the dev team once they found out how much space they had to work with and that they didn't have to repeat, like, every tile, like, ad nauseum.
Don't know. It must have been freeing to a certain degree. Oh, I see
Just
the
to
problem.
include all these unique little elements. Mag says you literally see him go from bottom to top mode in a cinematic. He can do both. And Denmaku says these things happen.
Bottom to top mode, I think about... Well, I don't want to say too much because of spoilers, but the line, your soul and all... I will have it, your soul and all, is total top energy.
I have no idea.
Your soul and all.
And as we've established, CD in the hallway stands for Count Dracula.
Indeed. Yeah, because I left a room unexplored. Dick.
I love the name Skellerang.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah. You bumbling boob. I have Skellerings. Oh, right. Okay, that explains that. Well, that was a waste of my time. All right.
Speaking of Skeletor, a big shout out to the Netflix Masters of the Universe series they're running right now. That is some good stuff.
I guess I will find a save point. I'll go down the stairs. I'll take the stairs and fill in things as I go.
Dan Maku says, I'm going to put my spiky wiener in your mouth. Grahatia 2017, Charlottesville.
Didn't someone ask Yoshi P if, like, Mikote have spiked dicks, and he was just basically, what's wrong with you people?
I think that's the best answer he could have given. Lancehart says there's 2 He-Man series happening now, right? Technically, I suppose. They did Revelations last year, I think, and then I think they're doing a follow-up to that, but it's not out yet. Around that time, they started, like, the new one that's, like, more, like, kind of new generation stuff. And that one's, like, still going. It just dropped some episodes recently.
Much faster.
As I recall. And yeah, and honestly, I'm just, like, really enjoying that one. So, let's see. Denmaku says, was it you, Red?
Was it what? Hey, how did that go
I'm
over
not
that
sure.
guy? I guess he didn't follow it down.
He jumped over it off screen.
Oh, Lord.
You remember that, right?
I do.
For people who don't know, that I think that was the explanation in the suggested in the Super Mario Brothers 1 manual for how you can, like, kick a Koopa shell off screen and it'll bounce back at you, but it won't, like, hit any of the enemies between you and the pipe or whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe they jumped over it when you weren't looking. Dynamaku says, who asked Yoshi P about
Mikote.
yeah, those
That definitely was not me. I have gotten to talk to Yoshi P, but I asked him about... That was actually a year ago, almost a year ago to the day. And I kind of asked him, you know, what was coming out for Endwalker story-wise, like what inspired the story for Endwalker. And he said he couldn't tell me because that'd be spoilery, but then he kind of gave away a bit. He said, Interstellar. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then when he said it...
Did you say that?
No. But once I got to a certain point in the game, I said, oh. But dude really loves Christopher Nolan. Like, holy fucking shit.
Meg says, what I want to know is if a team of scientists determined if Miko girls make the same amount of noise if they're getting raw dogged or using something smoother.
Anyway, I think it's a good place to stop.
Is that raw dogs and cats? That's what they are, right?
Raw dogging someone is when you just
No,
kind
I'm
of...
talking about they're cats, right? The
Yeah, they are cats.
Yeah,
They don't like to
so-
be called cats. They get very mad if you refer to them as cats. Even though you can get a cat tree in the game, and it does say that Mikote will use it.
Lance says, I'm just happy Endwalker gave us great remixes of Final Fantasy IV music. And Danmaku says, Red just slaps her knees and stands up at that like, welp. Mags, quote, and on that note, ... All right, so yeah, that has been part 2 of Castlevania Symphony of the Month. We're looking to do it again next week, every weekend in October. Hopefully we'll get the game done by then. And thank you all for coming out. I am David Oxford, also known as LBD Night Train, at LBD_NYTETRAYN on Twitter. You can find more of my shenanigans on poisonmushroom.org and at themmnetwork.com, where lately I've been running a thing all month. I'm doing kind of a Halloween story thing in the world of legends, and I hope you'll check that out. And Nadia, where can they find you?
I'm everywhere. I'm on Twitter at Nadia Oxford. I'm on Axe the Blood God, which is patreon.com/bloodgodpod. I'm on Charlene Dropouts, which is a Final Fantasy XIV podcast. You can find that on Blood God Pod as well. I do a whole bunch of writing and shit, but you're not going to know where it is until I tell you, which I can't tell you right now. So, yeah. I'm around. You'll find me.
But if you do want more of our writings, you can also find the Mega Man Robot Master Field Guide Updated Edition and Mega Man X Maverick Hunter's Field Guide available at better bookstores everywhere. And with that, we thank you for coming out. Goodbye and good night.